Alright, this is a video about the brand new mixtape from none other than Trippie Redd. I'm gonna do my math homework while I listen to this so I don't fall asleep. Okay, there we go. Michael Lamar White II, the 5th Trippie Redd mixtape, the 5th installment in A Love Letter to You 5. I don't even know if I said that right. This is a video about the brand new mixtape, A Love Letter to You 5 from Trippie Redd. Okay? First things first. This album is not terrible. Much better than his previous work, Mansion Music. This album, terrible. One of the worst albums I've ever listened to. This album, it's not great, it's not wonderful, but it is pretty good, you know? I mean, not pretty good, it's good. So these first couple songs all sound really similar. They all sound like the first couple songs on A Love Letter to You 4. But also on A Love Letter to You 4, which is a huge mixtape, by the way, 21 songs, almost an hour. There's a lot of more rage songs like The Grinch, Death, and M's is not really a love song, you know? That's one of the problems I had with this tape, was it's not like A Love Letter to You 1 and 2, or even 3, where you get, you know, love songs. You know, this is about, you know, not letting people get to you, just be yourself. And obviously this song is a little bit off the rails, but most of them pertain to love, you know, and then you have Trip at Night, which is just, you know, an album. But this album did do that really well. There's pretty much all of them love songs except for the last song, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, these first songs, definitely, these first 9, I can say confidently, all really similar to an extent. But they're all pretty cool. Thy Motion was pretty boring. I did like Last Days quite a bit. But, you know, Thinking About You, Praying for Love specifically reminded me a lot of Larray off of Love Letter to You 4. Okay. It is a pretty cool song, but a lot of these just sounded real poppy, if you know what I mean. Like not really like anything I'm gonna really listen to. I did add a few to my actual playlist, and I'll talk about that again in a second. A Feeling with Sky Morales. I don't know who that is. I don't think it's Miles Morales' sister, but I could be wrong. But this is just an alright song. I didn't think it was great. And then Romantic Fantasy, which in my opinion is the last song on this first half of the album. You'll understand that when I'm saying it in a minute. This is actually a pretty cool song. It has this really interesting instrumental with piano and all that, with a very heartfelt sound from Trippie, and this sounds like the last song on something, which goes into I'm Mad at Me with featuring Lil Wayne, which is really cool because Lil Wayne's obviously a long, you know, almost 20 years at this point, standing artist, or more than 20 because he was in, you know, groups back in the 90s, I believe. Obviously, legend in hip-hop, legend in rap, legend in music. Did a rock album. When I first looked at this album at 11 p.m., I didn't listen to it at 11 p.m. last night. I just thought about it. I looked at it just to see the track list. The features just looked like a bunch of nothing, if I'm being honest. You know, I feel like everybody's getting a Lil Wayne feature these days. He's still obviously a good rapper. His verse is good, but it just felt like, okay, you know, you got Lil Wayne on the album. You know what I mean? But he did good. This song was actually pretty good. And I feel like this song was not really as much of a slow and love song as the other ones. It felt more rappy and more, you know, punchy, if I think that's the right word. Closed Doors by Roddy Ricch. I really don't like Roddy. He has the same flow on every song, and his newest mixtape just wasn't that good at all. I didn't like that song on Spotify, you know, obviously. So again, this song is more like something you'd hear on A Love Letter to You 4. Hey, that rhymed. You know, just kind of it is kind of like a soft song, but it's got the hard drums, and it sounds like a Trippie song, you know. Again, not great, not good, nothing special. Left 4 Dead was a single for this album that came out, I think, last week? Or 2 weeks ago, the same night as Utopia, I want to say? Or maybe the same night as K-pop, I can't remember. Helicopter featuring Tommy Lee Sparta. I don't know who this is, but this song gave the same kind of vibes as Bust Down Do, featuring Young UD. This is a pretty cool song, but then it has a verse from this French-speaking person, and it just kind of ruins the song. Same thing here with Tommy Lee Sparta. I'm pretty sure this isn't French. It seems more Hispanic type of music. I'm not sure, though. But it's dance hall stuff, and, you know, that's not really Trippie's forte. You know, he's not going to make a one dance. In my opinion, Trippie's never going to be that level. Flowers by Bryson Tiller, again, not that good. I didn't really like it. You know, I'm not enjoying this so far. And then The Hate is actually a pretty cool song, I think. To me, it sounds like it samples the same song that is sampled on They Don't Love It by Jack Harlow. It just has that same kind of sound to it, but I can't find the actual sample for this song anywhere, like on Who Sampled or Genius. So that's just a thing I might say, so I'm going to play them. I want you to hear. I want you to see what you think.
It's like,
to me, they just sound like it's the same song, just chopped a little differently or done a little differently. But I don't know. That's a pretty cool song, though. I did like it. No drums or anything. It's this really weird sample, and I actually think it's a pretty cool way to do things. Now, last song, Trip McNight. Obviously, a song that was meant for either Trip at Night or Mansion Music. It's a rage song. It does feel kind of tacked on here. Produced by Honorable C Note. It's not really a love song. It's not, it's about him shooting people, and Trippie makes that kind of music on, Trip at Night, which is my favorite album of his, or mixtape, or project of his, in my opinion. But this isn't the place for that. I don't know why he feels the need to put that here. But what I think it might be is this could be like an Honestly Nevermind situation, where he has, an R&B album like Drake did, which this isn't an R&B album, but that's what Drake did. He makes a club album, a dance album, and then at the end he puts Jimmy Cooks, which leads into Her Loss, 4 or 5 months later. So that's what this could be. Maybe he's gonna drop another actually good rage album in the winter, when who knows? Because that's the other thing. This mixtape is long overdue. In my opinion, this should have dropped sometime in like the summer of 2022, so over a year ago. But delays and whatever happened made it way longer of a wait. But just speaking on the actual album itself, I had mixed feelings going in before I listened to it, because we got Mansion Music and that was terrible. I had high hopes because I was like, maybe Trippie's gonna redeem himself. Maybe Mansion Music was just that was a mistake, you know what I mean? And then the album itself, it both disappointed and exceeded my expectations. Because some of the songs in here, like I said, are pretty good. My favorite song on this album is actually, I don't know if it's Wind or Wind by Trippie Redd, and then featuring the Kid Laroi. I don't really like Kid Laroi. I'm pretty sure it's an industry plant. That's just my opinion, though. And this song, it's really cool. The mixing of the vocals at the start kind of sound like a rock song almost. And it's got this crazy synth and crazy drums and everything about it. That's my favorite song of this album. And that, great. Kid Laroi. I don't know about, bro. It's like a rock song. I feel like it's a rock. Keep it together, we won't never change. Look in the mirror, you might know your name. You in the ground, no one in the same. Okay, I'm Mad at Me, really good. Praying for Love, really good. Last Days, all pretty good songs, but it's a little better than I expected, but it has a lot lower lows than I expected it to have. So in my opinion, this album is a 7 out of 10. As the album itself didn't live up to what I hoped would happen. Trippie really dropped the ball recently, in my opinion, just of, his work ethic, his image. Doesn't feel like the same guy that dropped Trip at Night and A Love Letter to You 3 and exclamation point, A Love Letter to You 1 and A Love Letter to You 2. But I didn't like Pegasus that much either. But then he came back and did Trip at Night a year later. So who knows? He could really dig himself out of this one. But I feel like Trippie, he's been in the game for a while. Blew up in 2017 with his first mixtape that was on DSPs. Great mixtape. But maybe his course has run at this point. I don't know. I'm not here to say that. I'm just here to say what I think about projects. That's about it for the review. Just wanted to give a little update here on things I'm planning for the future for this channel. I have a video I'm working on of my top 10 rap verses. If you care about that at all, I'm going to be putting that up maybe this week, probably. Today, Uzi posted on his Instagram story that if Lil DTE, who is affiliated with Playboi Carti, got to 100,000 followers, he would release Barter 6 this Friday. Earlier today, Lil DTE did get to 100,000 followers. So if Lil Uzi is not lying, we might get Barter 16 this weekend on Friday. No guarantees on that. Super hazy, not a lot of info. We're also expecting Drake's new album For All the Dogs soon. Next week, this week, who knows. He also hasn't said a whole lot on that. That's it for today, though. Yeah.